of the morning to you. What's going on, everybody? Pampered Chef Karen here on St. Patty's Day. I hope everybody is celebrating. I love St. Patrick's Day, and I love the traditional corned beef and cabbage. So a lot of you have been asking me, how do I make my corned beef and cabbage? So I said, you know what, I'm about to prepare it. I'm like, let me just come on live really quick and show you how simple and how easy. Now this recipe, I just have to tell you about this recipe. This recipe came from my mom, and it was given to her by a butcher in Brooklyn, okay? And he wasn't even Irish. He's actually, and it's a very strange long story, but my girlfriend Cara Volpe, if you're out there, shout out to my girl. Turns out it was her dad and her grandfather's recipe. They gave the recipe to my mom, and we came together years later. I don't know how we figured it out, but we realized it was her grandfather's recipe, so it means even more to me. Now I'm going to share it with you. Super, super easy and perfect every single time. So what you want to do is you want to get a big stock pot. This is a 12-quart stock pot. I like to put all my vegetables in with it, so I love a big stock pot. Sometimes I do 2 corned beefs in here at once. They do shrink down, guys, so keep that in mind when you're buying one, that they will shrink down pretty significantly. So I'm actually making 3 today. I have 1 in here, 1 in my multi-pot, and 1 in my rock crock slow cooker. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm just doing 1 in here today, and I'm going to do a lot of the vegetables in here with it. I like the flavor. I like the way they taste when they're all cooked together. If you do not like that, do your vegetables separate. Boil them. Boil them in some beer. Go crazy. You know, so that is another option as well. But I love to throw everything in one pot, set it, and forget it. So what I have in here right now, I put my corned beef in after I rinsed it off in cold water. So when you get in the packet, it kind of has that bloody stuff. It's a little squishy. You want to rinse it off with cold water. And then I put it in the pot. If your corned beef comes with a special spice packet, it kind of has some peppercorns and, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff in there. Dump that in with I'm losing my mind here. With the corned beef, and then you want to fill the pot about 3/4 of the way full with cold water. Again, we're starting with cold water. So now, what I'm going to add to this cold water, so now I have that in here ready with the water and the spice packet. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sherry, okay? So sherry is basically a type of cooking wine, okay? And it just gives it that extra flavor. But I have kind of made this my own. The original recipe just had sherry in it. But I like to add a little beer. So I don't know. You know what? My Irish friends will probably yell at me. In the past, I've literally used any type of beer that I had in the house. A lot of times, Corona. I know, totally against it. But I suggest you using a darker beer, some kind of maybe a lager. I'm just using this. It's what my husband picked up. So it's pretty dark. Yeah, it's pretty dark. So we're going to dump that whole beer right in there. So 1 bottle, 1 can of beer. Just gives it some more flavor. The other thing I'm going to put in here. So now it tells me to put some peppercorns. My spice packet had some already, but I'm going to take a couple more and throw that in there as well. Pampered Chef sells a fabulous peppercorn, which can be used with our grinder. So if you are in need of peppercorns, hit me up. And then a bay leaf. You want to throw a bay leaf in there as well. I like to throw some cloves, whole cloves of garlic, about 2 of those, right in the pot. Not even slicing them up. Lastly, I have an onion. I'm putting it on my simple slicer. I love that it has this little lip here. It will just rest right on top of my pot. I don't know, I'm going to do a 2 or a 3, just some big pieces. And I'm going to go across the pot and slice it right in. So easy, so simple. It's just going to add more flavor to everything. My little piece just got stuck. All right, nice and easy. And guys, that's really it. All I'm going to do now is turn on the flame, and we're going to wait for this to come to a boil. Once this comes up to a boil, so it'll take a little while. It's a full pot, and it's cold, cold water. Once this comes to a boil, I will then probably throw in my potatoes. Shortly thereafter, about a ½ hour after, I'll throw in my carrots. The last hour, I will throw in my cabbage because they all cook differently. So that's how I found it worked out the best, and I throw it all in, and I let it all cook together. I keep it on simmer, and I go 3 hours. Comes out absolutely perfect. Tender, not chewy, deliciousness. that easy, guys. I would love to hear. I have a poll going right now. How do you make your corned beef and cabbage? How do you do it? Do you do it on the stove top? I know a lot of people are baking them in the oven. How about in the slow cooker? Maybe you have a quick cooker or Instapot and you're trying that this year. I thought about doing it, but I love my tried and true way. But I am trying one new recipe for my good friend Barbara. She's an amazing cook and she tried one in her slow cooker. It's a really interesting method. You're not filling the water all the way. It's about halfway full. And on top of the fat side, she has the fat side up, she put a bunch of seasonings. If you want that recipe, let me know. It is actually on my personal timeline. She posted it for me this morning. But if you would like it, let me know and I'm happy to share it with you. And we're going to give it a try. And then I'll have everybody taste test later to see which one they like better. So I'm just going to take it off this without dropping it, hopefully. And I want to show everybody how my crock pot one, that one's been going since 9 o'clock this morning because I'm doing it low and slow. So check this out. Here is my Rock Crock slow cooker. And check this out, guys. I really shouldn't lift it, but I'm going to lift it really quick. Look. So it's crusted on the top, and it's like a quarter of the way full. All right? So this is going to go for 8 hours on low. Pretty cool, huh? So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope that helped you. I would love to hear how you're making your St. Patrick's Day. Maybe you're not doing corned beef. Maybe you're doing a shepherd's pie or a beef stew. I have recipes for all of those. If you would like them, just hit me up and let me know. I'm happy to help. Enjoy your St. Patty's Day. Be safe. Don't get too drunk, all right? Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.